Well, hello. Welcome to Tarot 2T. Today's reading will be for mid-March 2023 for the sign of Leo. And if this is the first time to my channel, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for returning. You're fantastic. I truly appreciate your support. So we're going to open up a general inquiry. What message does Leo need to hear for mid-March 2023? And I do want to mention I'm going to start offering extended readings. However, I can't do them for all the signs. I just don't have the schedule to do that. So, that said, if you're interested in purchasing an extended reading for April, because I'll start it after these readings, I will tally up the likes I get on the Leo videos going forward. And whatever sign has the most likes will get an extended reading. Okay? I might be able to do a couple, so just thought I would mention that. And we are almost there. Okay, let's jump right into it. Let's see what's going on for you, Leo. Five of Diamonds. You got some kind of change coming here with your finances, some kind of settlement, negotiation. It could be legal settlement, that type of thing, or as an example, I haven't gotten too far into this reading to know this, but if you, let's say you just divorced and you ended a partnership and there's some kind of finances to be divided up. It could be something like that, but there's some kind of positive change coming. Doesn't necessarily mean you're swimming in it right now. It's just an indication of a change. You do have some mixed feelings about this. The threes usually talk about being pulled in a couple different directions. Perhaps you're a little unclear how you want to spend the new money that's coming your way. It's just a little bit uncertainty. Let's just put it that way. It's not any big issue, honestly. But I see these very closely tied. Obviously, they just fit very nicely together, that you've got some kind of financial increase, some kind of bonus. Could even be a tax refund. We are in that season where you might end up with that tax refund, and you're just like, okay, how do I spend that? How do I need to save it, or do I need to pay off a bill, etc., etc. The Four of Spades tells me you're a little bit out in a period of stress relief around your home and lifestyle. So things are going very well there. But it does indicate that you had some stress in the past. It could be tied up with the finances. Maybe financially you were struggling a little bit the last couple months. Three of Hearts. You got something here pulling on your heartstrings, again in a couple different directions. Sometimes this can mean a decision between two people, such as in a love triangle, but I don't tend to read it that way, especially in the context of what's come out here so far. It's just something emotionally is pulling you in a couple different directions. Could be some kind of decision you're trying to make. Again, it could be wrapped up with the Three of Diamonds and having desires, let's say, to spend money on something that you've wanted for a while, but you perhaps know that you shouldn't. So it's not necessarily excessive spending or luxurious spending. It's just some kind of need or want, and you're just kind of don't know if I should do that. Maybe you're just thinking you should hang on to it instead of overextending yourself that way. Let's see what else we have coming out for Leo. Five of Clubs. So something's been stagnant for a while. Something you've been stuck in needs a change. This is the card that indicates it needs that change. Now, whether that change has occurred, not clear on that yet. I guess the safest thing to say is you should think about the places you're stuck in your life, whether it certainly could be financial, maybe some kind of emotional need or relationship, um, subject matter that needs to come to light, but there's some kind of stagnancy and a need for, that's generally the it's called the renovation card. So it's a need for a renovation, something to be freshened up, revamped. You know, new perspective. All of those types of things come into play with that card. The Nine of Hearts. There is a deep wish fulfillment here that has come to some completion. Could have to do with the finances, certainly. I'm not really seeing anything real clear. Otherwise, it would have been a wish fulfillment, so only you would know how this fits your situation. I do want to remind you this is a general reading, so if it doesn't fit your situation, that's okay. Not a big issue, really. You can always come back and see me for the next reading, and it might. General readings can't apply to every Leo out there, right? But that's a very good sign that you've had something here that's satisfied you on a deep level. Something you've been wanting to happen has happened. Seven of Hearts. You are experiencing some kind of pain, though. This is usually a disappointment or a loss around a person who hasn't come through for you. And in the beginning, it might have seemed really positive. It might have, started off on a very optimistic note. Like you're like, yeah, this person's great. They're gonna be in your life a long time. They're gonna, you're gonna develop a connection with them that's very significant. But something was short-lived about it. It's also kind of the fly-by-night card. Things that are fleeting. They pass through your life for a couple of weeks, and then boom, something happens to kind of have the floor drop out on you, and as a result there's some kind of disappointment. It's not necessarily you're crying into your pillow. It's not necessarily on that level of pain. It's just something that moved you emotionally. Let's put it that way. Now you could be dealing with a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. This is also the motherly card. Someone who's very nurturing. Somebody who does have some power and authority perhaps in your life that has come to your aid. I also see this as the self-nurturing card. You could be in this period of learning to take care of your own needs, especially out of this disappointment or loss that you experienced. I find it interesting. It's also on the heels of this wish fulfillment. I'm seeing like a situation that cropped up that, well, you were let down in disappointment, but on the other hand, something else arose out of that situation or was born out of that situation that actually was very positive and good. So it's like a bittersweet kind of experience. And I'm not picking a real strong energy up that this could be a person. I don't know. I'm kind of reading it more as the self-nurturing mode that you could be in. Because when I'm a Leo too. Okay, I'll just put that out there on the front. When we get injured and we get hurt, I don't remember where I heard this from, but it might have been another tarot reader, or it might have been from some tarot reading book, astrology, that talked about the modes of Leo and how they handle pain. We tend to go off into our cave a little while and lick our wounds. It's a little bit of brooding. It's a little bit of, I don't want to say you feel sorry for yourself, but you definitely get into that mode of focusing on you and how this stuff affects you and how you're going to handle it going forward. Because you feel it for a while. That's the bottom line. You feel it for a while. It's not something, pain doesn't come into your life and just boom, it's gone. Leos are very heart-centered. And so pain, emotional things that crop up, emotional experiences, they tend to linger for a while. And that's not necessarily out of a self-absorbed point of view. It's just the way we operate, right? Things affect us very deeply. They move us very deeply. So I kind of see that Queen of Hearts as being along the lines of, yeah, you're taking the time to kind of self-evaluate. I'm hearing self-evaluate. Whatever that situation was. I am not seeing that situation. I'll be very clear about that. A lot of times I don't see the actual physical, chain of events. I just kind of see the emotional impressions of it and what you're experiencing at this time in mid-March. You are embarked on some kind of entrepreneurial pursuit, though, and it is starting to pay off. This is about time, energy, and effort being put forth in something for a while, probably. This is not overnight, but you're starting to reap the rewards from that, so that's very exciting. In the midst of that pain, I just see you having a lot of positive aspects out here, especially with this financial change. And the wish fulfillment with the Nine of Hearts. That could be tied up with the entrepreneurial pursuit, and it's going really well. But in the midst of that, you had something let you down, and you're kind of recovering from that for mid-March. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Balance and harmony in finances. Very nice. If you are involved with somebody, this generally kind of highlights what's going on in that relationship, and finances seem to be particularly sweet for you guys. Things are doing very well financially. But if you're not involved with somebody, it's still along the same lines of having some harmony and balance in your financial health. Again, another two. So a big highlight here on harmony and balance. This one talks about communication needing to occur. Again, if you are in a relationship, perhaps there's some communication needs to occur in that relationship. Not really sure at this moment. I'll keep going. But that communication will bring about harmony and balance. So let's just keep that in the back of our minds as we go forward. And there's some kind of completion here. So something is wrapping up for you. It could have to do with that heartache, that loss that we were just talking about a second ago. Although I didn't perceive that as being on this level. This is pretty deep. It's a major loss. It's a divorce. It's someone passing away. Something traumatic happening where, you just need some time to process it and heal from it. But the good thing is, in your cards of advice, this means it's behind you. I don't see this heading towards you. This major loss. And it's pretty dark. I'll be honest, that's like one of the heaviest cards in the deck. But perhaps the communication is tied up with that. Before I go forward here, I just want to mention that communication as cropping up here may have to do with processing this loss, and the communication could be talking with somebody about it, whether it's a friend or a family member or a counselor, even a therapist. You are still worried and stressed about something, probably having to do with that major loss. Again, I'm not being shown what that is. I think it's just an indication here that you're still going to be going through that through mid-March. Unfortunately, that's not great news. But along with the twos, you do have this focus on threes. So there's a lot of areas of your life, Leo, I think that you're being kind of in the middle of things, not being sure how to feel about them. And again, with the stress and worry, I think that's the source of the stress and worry, just not knowing exactly how to feel about things, if that makes sense. Like on the one hand, I'm picking up that you may want to let it go and just, move forward. But on the other hand, there's a part of you that's still wounded. What did I say about Leo's hanging on to things a little bit? And it can become a problem. I will be the first one to admit that we can't hang on to things too long. Not necessarily grudges. I mean, certainly grudges can be part of it, but again, it's just like the lingering effects, because we think from our heart, and we're very heart-centered. People have a misconception that Leos are self-absorbed. It's actually not the case at all. It's just that we feel things very deeply, and we're moved by things. But there is some kind of windfall coming your way. Four of Diamonds talks about a windfall and the warning just to be careful with that windfall. It could have something to do with this negotiation or settlement here with the Five of Diamonds. But this looks like it's coming in your near future if it doesn't materialize in mid-March. And to be careful how you spend it. But it also is going to bring stability and security around the home, highlighted by the 4. So it's going to be very, very nice for your lifestyle and keeping out with bills and perhaps catching up with debt. 6 of Hearts. Options and opportunities coming your way to meet somebody significant. You're going to meet relationships that are meaningful to you. This isn't always romantic. This can also be close friendships. This could be business partners, for example. Someone who's really on the same page with you and has the same vision. You can feel just as close and connected with somebody in that capacity, right? But you're going to have a lot of options and opportunities coming your way. And probably not just March. Probably just going forward in general. That doesn't necessarily talk about the present moment. But I also want to mention, before I keep going, the 6 of Hearts does tell me that you're not hanging on to past resentments, pain, disappointment. So you're open to those relationships. You're not blocking yourself. You're not standing in your own way. If you've been with me before, I've talked about that baggage and that emotional charge. If it's present in our life and we don't figure out how to let go of it, I think that's one of the challenges with Leo, is learning how to let go of that emotional charge. It can block the energy flow in other areas of our life, be it financial, relationship, career. It doesn't matter. I think it can pop up in many different ways. And you are encouraged here to learn some kind of new skill or knowledge, gain some kind of education in some way. I'm just a little bit intrigued about what that pertains to. It's not obvious to me. Could be in general. Just keep learning about new subjects. Certainly with career. It would certainly probably pertain to that. Or if you've been having difficulties with relationships, I'll just throw this out here. It's not a real strong impression I'm getting, but perhaps just learning a little bit about how to navigate through issues in relationships, because the 6 of Hearts came out just right before that, and maybe having a fresh approach to how you connect with people, how you communicate with them, again, how you deal with issues that come up, and keeping perspective. I don't know why that popped into my consciousness, but it just did. So I think I'm going to end it there. Again, I see very positive things going on in your finance in mid-March. Things starting to grow, things starting to change for the better. And a little bit of warning about overspending or spending outside the norms. Now, if you need to make a major repair or put some money towards something, perhaps it's a credit card debt. Don't be afraid of doing that. It's just be careful of the extra, the extravagant spending, the things that are more luxuries than necessities, for example. But things are very balanced in that area. So finances are looking particularly nice. I think I've heard some other readers talk about Leo, and their financial outlook is looking particularly positive going forward in 2023 anyway. But there's some kind of communication needs to happen around this recent loss. I don't think this was last week or last month. This is something you've been going through for a while. Could have been the end of a career, could have been the end of a relationship. But there's some kind of communication that's probably going to help relieve some of this stress and worry, because I do think that stems from whatever that heaviness is. Like I said, I'm not seeing a clear picture on that. So you take it how it fits your situation, and if it doesn't, just let it go. Best advice for Leos, right? Just learn how to let it go, not let it bog you down. But definitely think about this new start. What kind of thing would you like to pursue at this time? What kind of knowledge or skill or information do you want to start gathering? Okay, I'm going to end it there. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it gave you some insights, some things to think about. If you would like to see me for the next reading, don't forget to hit subscribe notifications so that you get the notification on your phone. You can always just come back and check back in with my channel. Also want to remind you, if you are interested in seeing an extended reading starting in April, don't forget to hit the thumbs up symbol. What else? Oh, and if you're interested in making a donation to show your appreciation today, I do have a link in the bottom of my description box. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. It's a website where you can literally buy me more tea, because I'm actually a tea drinker. And thank you in advance if you're able to do that. Okay, Leo, enjoy the rest of your March, and I will see you again soon. Take care.